Today we have mechanical problems, some random screaming, lots of being slapped in the face by sticks, and the occasional Portuguese swearing. Say something.
Cheese!
This was a ride organized by Northern Gravel Adventure Riders. It would be a one-day ride over a two-day weekend. We were based in Tambernui, which gave us access to a lot of back roads and farm sections on this area. Some of us would later attempt to do the 40-second traverse. You'll see that towards the middle of the video. Very muddy day, wet. It was raining pretty much constantly throughout the day. The farm sections were very interesting, not too difficult, very easy terrain, a bit of mud here and there. You can see my bike just slipping a bit and going off to the side here. Nothing too complicated. This ride we had a mix of experienced and novice riders, two distinct groups, and as always the more experienced riders will try and help out the more inexperienced riders and help them improve. And we come to the first challenge of the day. It's a small uphill. It's not very complicated, but it's a challenge to the more inexperienced riders. I think myself this is 90% in your head. You just need to believe that you're gonna make it and as you can see from this guy, you just go and somehow if you find yourself a line, you'll make it. Now all is good when you're going uphill, a little bit more complicated when you're going downhill.
Lots of gas going off.
As usual, the GoPro doesn't give you the right perspective on the gradient of a downhill, but you can see from this that it is quite steep. Even for the light bikes, it is quite steep. On the big bikes, it is even more complicated because it's very easy to lose control of the bike.
There's still quite a few back there.
So in here the cautious approach takes place, and I think this is what you need to do in terrain where the mud is very obvious. You don't want to be losing your front end, so take it easy, use your back brake. Of course, all is good when your back brake doesn't have ABS turned on, because when you have forgotten to turn off your ABS because you stopped, as you can see from my panic, it is quite different to control the bike. It simply doesn't stop.
What side?
Right side's really slippery.
Is it?
Go to left. There's a cleaner track.
ABS off?
About half an hour ago.
The issue with my ABS is that every time I turn off the key on my motorbike to stop and help someone, the ABS resets to on, and sometimes I forget to turn it back off, and that's when I get caught in situations where it's actually very dangerous, and I need to keep reminding myself of that fact. And we're approaching the end of the farm section. Jim is making me signal that there's 2 more riders, and we go into the next section, which is the 40-second traverse, something that I was looking forward to for a very, very long time. This is a legendary off-road track in New Zealand, and it's known for being narrow, technical, and with a few river crossings. Actually, the river crossings were the reason why we couldn't complete the 40-second traverse, and that the river was too high because of the rain, so we couldn't risk drowning the bikes and getting stuck in the middle of nowhere in New Zealand. And now the fun begins, the really, really fun stuff. This is wet, muddy, slippery, technical, and with the other challenge that I couldn't see anything. I wear glasses, the glasses fog up, and with the rain I needed to keep my helmet down and closed, and that just fogged up everything. Helmet, glasses, so picking your line through this terrain with fogged up glasses is not fun at all. And by the middle of this track I gave up and I just took them off and rode without glasses, which actually turned out to be much better than trying to ride with the glasses on this kind of weather. It's a very fast section of the track, just having fun. This is amazing terrain and scenery, and I just feel lucky to be able to be doing this. I think I dropped my bike about 7 times in this section, and I can promise you that after the 3rd time picking up my bike it's starting to get painful. And there we go, the first one. You can see from the footage, the mistake I made here was that I tried to cross from one side of the track to the other one, and the middle section is not as hard as it looks, and especially because of my glasses I couldn't see, and the front wheel just went to the side and I fell. No harm, no damage, just the fact that I couldn't take the bike off of the 2 ruts. She was standing with one wheel in one rut, the other wheel in the other rut, and I couldn't take it out of there. I needed to wait for someone to come and help me out. And this is also where the problems with the mirrors start, and this is the last time I rode off-road with the stock mirrors. It simply is annoying. The mirrors couldn't keep their position. I couldn't drive properly because they were always getting in the way, and I just got sick of them. And here's the footage. You see the front wheel just slipped into the right hand side there, and I just fell. One technique I have to try and get my bike unstuck is to actually let it fall again and then try and rotate it on the engine heads. This time I couldn't make it work, and fortunately someone did come about in the meantime, and they helped me out getting the bike unstuck from this position.
Can turn it. I can turn it. Yeah, be careful. Okay, you pull this side, but it goes into that rut, you see? Okay. Wait, let me start it. Okay. One more. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's just the fact that I couldn't get it up because it's too slippery. Where should I go? Maybe go that way.
So I decided to go on the right hand side there, which was the line I wanted to cross into. And I just needed to go easy because the engine pods stick out quite a bit in the 1200s, and I'm always afraid that I'm going to get my pod stuck. And just as I thought I was out of the mess,
Primera caída, segunda caída.
translation, first real fall, correction, second real fall. And here again it's the terrain just too slippery, front end just slides to one side, and you lose the front end, you lose the balance, you lose the bike. Simple as that. In this occasion, the best thing you have to do is just stop, take a breather, and then start again.
Stuck. Ah, no, read it. Now I just need a breather. Just need a breather.
Oh, you just need a breather. Okay, bit of a shock. That's alright. Are you ready?
Yeah. Let's see what I'm gonna do.
I'll go right over there.
Over there in front.
And as you try and get yourself out of this muddy terrain, this is where you start to feel the real weight of these bikes. They're very heavy, they can't get traction, and it's very tiring to push them through. So now, to alleviate stress, we get some Portuguese swearing.
Ah! Caralho! Ah! this. Wait a minute. Close for this guy. O dinheiro não tá chuveiro, caralho, pra esta merda.
One more nasty section, and this time I decided to look at it, study it before I gun it. I decided to go on the right hand side, and again a deep rut. Engine pods are concerned, but we managed to go. And just the fact that the bike is in a rut means I can get easy access to the ground with my feet, which is a lot easier to paddle.
Wow. Thanks for that.
That's right, this will be a team effort, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
You can tell me that, do that.
That'll be fine.
This is the other big bike rider.
The nice smell of clutch.
And I decided to stick with these guys for a while and help each other out, because we both have big bikes and we could use a hand or two while we go through these more technical sections. We enjoy the scenery a bit. It's gorgeous in New Zealand, even with rain like this. On these very narrow sections, getting sticks in your face, being slapped left and right by sticks and overgrown vegetation, it's inevitable. It's a trade-off between choosing a line that is easier and getting slapped in the face all the time by these branches. Some of them really hurt, and they were right in the face. The funny thing is that the camera gets water droplets, and the sticks actually help clean it up from time to time. technical terrain, except for the sticks in the face. And here we get to another slightly challenging section. It's a hard base, slippery rock. The rider on the 1150 is picking his line and I'm riding behind him. He's gonna go through this section and he's gonna drop his bike. And when I decide to try and help him out, I obviously disengage my gear, put my stand down and disengage the gear so that I don't have to remember to turn off the ABS again. But I forgot that I was going downhill, so the bike just fell on its side while I was trying to go and help him out. So no real help for him, and I was the one that needed help. Not a bright idea.
Good.
And finally I decide to take off my glasses.
Can't see anything. Well, if I take them off, I won't see. Can you put them in the backpack, please?
Just look at them. How can I see anything?
Yeah, we can't see anything.
I'll put them on the oh no.
And now, just after that bad decision of taking off my glasses and starting to see clearly again, we had to turn back because the river was too high. We couldn't go through it, and we decided to turn back and head back. Of course, that means that we have to do it all over again, but this time backwards. Different challenges. So what's happening here? Well, in here I'm stuck on this left hand side right, and I decided that I wanted to get out of the right. The problem is that the back wheel can't come out of the rut because it's slipping, and the bike just turns sideways, and with the bike sideways I can't pull it through. There's no traction. It's just a fight against the back wheel trying to overtake the front wheel. So I get very good and sound advice from a fellow rider, and he tells me just ride it through the water, and so I did.
I don't think the boat are gonna stop. Yeah?
See How easy is that? Just wait and let the other riders go through. They don't need to be pulled off by you. This actually turned out to be a mistake later because I got left behind by the tail end Charlie. And I fell on a muddy section, and it took me about half an hour to pick up the bike by myself. And fortunately I managed to get it and get out of there, but it would be a different story if I didn't. It's been about 2.5 hours since we got into the 42nd traverse, and I must admit that fatigue is starting to play a bit in this time of the day, to the point that I actually start screaming. So tired I was pulling the bike through some of these sections. Just one more fall. And being thrown sideways.
Shit.
The freaking mirrors are so annoying by this time that I actually stopped to try and fix them. And here I'm riding by myself with a strange feeling that I might have been left behind by the Tara and Charlie. This proves to be right. Further ahead, I fall on a muddy section. Unfortunately, the battery by this time had run out and I didn't realize, so I didn't record this part, which is a shame. But I managed to pick up the bike half an hour after I fell. It was a very big struggle to pick up the bike. I had like 15 centimeters of very soft mud and I was completely bogged down, slipping all over the place. It was very complicated. But I did manage to pick it up and get out of the 42nd traverse and rendezvous with the rest of the team. And this ended the 42nd traverse, which was painful, tiring, but awesome. Can't wait to be back. So the next day I decided to take the long ride home. Instead of turning right here and go through straight into Auckland, I decided to turn left and do the Forgotten World Highway. This turned out to be a great decision because I managed to go do some sightseeing. This is actually the campsite that I was thinking about camping, but because it was raining like crazy the day before, I decided not to do it. Fortunately, there was a spare room and I could take it. This is the beginning of the Forgotten World Highway, and you get to do some very nice sightseeing. There's a very nice gorge which is amazing to ride on. Again, raining, but not too much, so nothing to be concerned about. Just amazing scenery in New Zealand. Sometimes I do feel like I'm riding through Jurassic Park or something and the dinosaur is gonna pop up from one of these bushes. An amazing country, New Zealand. Forgotten World Highway at its best. It's amazing, this part of New Zealand. It's really fantastic. The odd traffic jam in the roads in New Zealand, nothing to be worried about. And as we get closer to the coast, the weather changes to a beautiful sunny day, and it was just a pleasure to ride on. And here we have a road closed for an event. The event turned out to be a rally stage, custom rally cars from locals. Amazing. In the background, as we ride towards the coast, you can see, although not too well, you can see Mount Taranaki, which is a volcano. And with that, I'll ride back home. Thank you for watching. See you next time.